move on to react to some of the top soccer headlines. We start off though. We discussed this a little bit in the last segment. Um, Mikel Arteta, he officially announced that Odegaard will be out for a while after sustaining a significant ankle injury while he was playing for Norway last weekend. Arteta said the scans showed that he's got some damage, especially on one of the ligaments in the ankle. It's something quite significant, so we're going to lose him for a while. He's our captain. He's been one of the biggest and best players in our team. Our identity is very linked to how he plays and behaves. It's a big test for the team to see how able we are to show a different face. Look, in the short term, I didn't think it was going to be a big issue because, we saw how they can win in different ways now. This Arsenal team, this new look Arsenal team that can be a little bit more defensive and win. But in the long run, I think this injury can be huge, will be huge for Arsenal because to lose your most important creative player for a while is, because you can get away with it in a game or two and be a little bit more defensive and nick a goal here and there. But you can't do that consistently, and you're going to need that creativity that Mikel Arteta provides, especially in the fact that there's not much creativity in that team outside of him. The wingers are not the most creative players. Havertz dropping in or Trossard dropping in or whatever, they're not really the most creative players as well. So his creativity was very vital to the way Arsenal played. So I think long term this could be a big issue for Arsenal, I do have to say. But we move on. Borussia Dortmund, they were able to get a 3-0 win over Club Brugge as they opened up their Champions League campaign this season. This is a Borussia Dortmund team that went to the final of the Champions League last season. Now it's a little bit new look team being managed by Nuri Sahin. And they're determined to build on what they had last season in the Champions League. Obviously, he was an assistant manager in that second half of the season last season, eventually getting promoted as a Borussia Dortmund manager, and look, it was a late win for them. Going away to play at the in Bruges against Club Brugge, not the most simple of games, but they got it. They got it through 2 late goals from Jamie Bynon Giddens, who came off the bench actually, the 20-year-old English player. And he was able to get goals in the 76 and 86 minutes, and then an insurance goal by Girassi coming off the bench as well in the 95th minute, or the 95th minute, was able to cap it off for Borussia Dortmund. Good win for them. They go on in the Champions League, and they will be playing Celtic at home at Signal Iduna Park. So good win for them, and they also have Barcelona as well later on the campaign. They actually play Barcelona and Real Madrid. So Borussia Dortmund, they will have some tests in this Champions League campaign that we're looking forward to. But the Champions League rematch will also get that Borussia Dortmund Real Madrid, the Champions League final rematch. Moving on though, the rest of the Champions League, let's do sort of a roundup for the rest of the fixtures. Actually, there was only one. Bologna and Shakhtar Donetsk finished 0-0. Sparta Praha was able to get a 3-0 win over Salzburg. The big game, though, out of the games we didn't really discuss up to this point, Celtic playing at, this game was played at Celtic Park. got a 5-1 win over Slovan Bratislava, the Celtic team that's led by Brendan Rodgers, that play some really good football, that are getting players forward, that are willing to be on the front foot in games. They were able to get 5 past Slovan Bratislava, and they played a really good game. They took advantage of one of the greatest atmospheres in European football. So really good win for them, as they want to make, as they try to build some sort of push, trying to, potentially maybe in this sort of league campaign, you give yourself they have a better opportunity to find themselves in the knockout stage. Who knows? They have in the atmosphere that, that will really give them a heads up going forward. No doubts about that. De Bruyne, he might be a doubt for Arsenal he might be a doubt for Arsenal this Sunday. He was forced off injury in the game against Inter Milan. He picked up the injury late in the first half, when he was trying to catch onto a through ball that was played from Jack Grealish. Guardiola said, "We'll assess tonight and I'll have more information tomorrow. The doctor said to me he wasn't right to play, but I was thinking about changing it at halftime anyway. When you are alone and lose easy balls, it's a counterattack. It's impossible to stop it. You have to be more precise. It happened especially on the left side. With Kevin, we lost the ball without pressure, and when that happens, they can kill you." So, yeah, we'll see. We'll get more information tomorrow, and we'll see if Kevin De Bruyne will be available for that Inter Milan game. Not Inter Milan game, that Arsenal game. There's a lot of it is, with the Champions League. I talked about briefly in the AFL Cup. We know that yesterday United were able to get past Barnsley 7-0. I also discussed Tottenham's 2-1 win over Coventry. Brighton was able to get past Wolves 3-2. This game was played at the former stadium, formerly known as the Amex. So good for Brighton to be able to move on to the next round of the EFL Cup. Thank you guys for tuning into the GSMC Soccer Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. So thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.